And we're back. We're still waiting for them to finish Ham Select. And I have my bottle of water. So I won't be as parched. Now, champ selecting Clash does take a notoriously long time. I should really find something else to do. I guess I can find something else to do. Actually, let me take a look at... I wonder how OBS even records this. Actually, it might be too late to do that. I'll do it next time when they get in the next game. Oof. What was that sound?
Someone sneezed.
No. Hold on. Cody? Cody, did you just throw up on my sock? No? Okay. Doesn't seem like it was anything.
I'm fairly certain it was a sneeze.
Sound
Maybe
like
Cody sneezed.
sound like Cody was like coughing up something, but no, it was fine. He is
Maybe someone in
currently...
Discord sneezed.
No, it was definitely him. He is currently resting by my feet. Oh, what a good doggy. And it seems like they're still in Champ Select. Man, that takes forever.
Oh, God,
In
they're in
game. Let's go. All right, this is game 2. Let's go. We're back in it. Game 2 Zaun Cup day 1, and we'll run down the matchups as they come. It's gonna be okay. Just to make sure I'm still recording. We're gonna have Cannon top lane, Zac jungle, Yone mid, Misfortune Leona. Don't fix what ain't broken, except switch out the Yasuo for Yone. That's more important. The exact same comp coming out from Team EZW. They're going up against, I swear I've seen Sorry Maker before. Not with 2 eyes, but likely Viego top, Shyvana jungle. No, wait, what? No, that's Warwick jungle. Shyvana top, Viego mid, Kai'Sa ADC Thresh support, which seems like the most likely arrangement for such a team comp. And we're 2 minutes out. We're going to be getting into the game shortly. EZW is up 1-0.
Is this a first place? Maybe.
Too early to tell. There has definitely been more heartbreaking second place finishes than first places. Just putting that out there.
Hot take, Logan. It's gonna be Warwick top with jungle Viego.
That is a hot take. Not entirely out of the realm of plausibility. I will say Warwick top is one of those cheese picks where he's extremely dominant in the very early phases of the lane, where, yeah, it's like fighting into a brick wall that continuously heals itself. And you can definitely win the lane off that. You can definitely get so snowbally that they can't stop you. In a clutch setting, not sure if they would do this. Alright, we're 10 seconds out. Enough of the dead silence. Let's get into it. Game 2. EZW versus... Come on, show me the team names. ORT. 1 round trip. Having literally just stopped playing Diablo, like, to cast this, ORT hits different for me. You mean the Ort Ruin? Alright, Zaun Cup Day 1, Game 2. We'll have both teams now getting into position. It's Shyvana jungle. It is... Let's see which direction
Oh wait,
Viego
I totally
runs.
forgot about the Shyvana. Yeah,
It is Warwick top. Huh. It is Warwick top. Unfortunately, it's not Viego jungle, so you're only partially right on that guess.
I didn't see the Shyvana. I don't know. I spaced out. But yeah,
Yes.
that's in retrospect. That was kind of obvious. Shyvana can't go anywhere with jungle. That's trolling if she goes anywhere else.
I've seen Shyvana top quite a few times.
That's trolling.
So is Warwick top.
No, Warwick top is good.
I have definitely seen more Shyvana tops than Warwick tops. Just putting that out there.
Just because you've seen them more doesn't mean it's more viable. Those guys were just trolls looking.
I've played against 1 Warwick top ever, and I've seen Shyvana top like 3 or 4 times. So my personal sample size says like it's 400% less troll. We're gonna have actually pretty standard start. But once again, the red team is starting red side, blue team is starting red side as well. So it is, I think we established this a reflected jungle start. A very interesting matchup here in mid lane. Now, with any
Very interesting.
with any squishy melee matchups going up against Yone, I almost always give the edge to Yone. He hard punishes those kinds of champions, so I would actually give the edge to Yone just because he can actually out-duel Viego in a lot of circumstances. He has a shield, he has continuous mixed damage, which is really hard to defend against, and a really solid burst rotation that Viego cannot viably sustain away from. That being said, Viego's lane sustain, not a joke. He Qs the wave and he heals like 300 health back. It could either be a stalemate or Yone could turn it into a blowout. And it's honestly up to the skills of both players, which I like. Tiny edge to the Yone still, I would say. Now both bot laners at level 2. For both sides, rather. We're gonna get out of this game with the first death sentence, completely missing the mark. Oh, the second death sentence. It will connect, but there is immediately Leona in his face, bashing him with the shield. Kai'Sa! Oh, she's taking so much damage, but the Ignite gets cleansed out. Thresh will not meet the same fate. Miss Fortune gets that first blood. Kai'Sa escapes by the skin of her teeth, using the cleanse to survive that all in. But the Ignite results in first blood here. Miss Fortune, 8 CS up. Kai'Sa might find it difficult to farm that cannon, so she'll just have to watch it die unless she steps forward. For some reason, Leona goes for the early tower dive, and she will actually not even die herself. 2-0. Beautiful start here by blue team's bot lane. And Kai'Sa oversteps for that cannon. Of course she will go for it. It's obviously you'd rather die than lose that. And all of that results in blue team getting a very early gold advantage in their favor. It's just from bot lane though, everywhere else is essentially basically completely tied. There is still a wild card here for a red team in this game, and that is the Shyvana. With Night Harvester done and a few Dark Harvest stacks, Shyvana Dragonform Flame Breath is not something that you can willingly tank. Not even as the tankiest of tanks. And Miss Fortune is going to be perpetually in danger of the Shyvana Flame Breath. The jungle matchup is something to look out for. Can you shut down that Shyvana before Flame Breath becomes such a huge problem that it is virtually impossible to fight? Because that is also a pick that Team EZW has historically had huge problems with in the past. Managing the amount of damage that can come out of each Shyvana. A beautiful flay! It cancels the slingshot, but really all it converts into is the Thresh becoming a martyr. He gets taken down yet again, 3 for nothing. Blue team is rolling the bot lane so far in the early game. Yone goes for the soul unbound and the face seal. He's going, not the face seal, just the soul unbound. He gets snapped back. Not really any damage done. Now it's 3 to nothing. Warwick's actually fallen quite low, but it's Warwick, so he just has to auto a few times to no longer be low. Case in point, he's going to pop the Howl to tank a lot of the Slicing Maelstrom. In fact, Slicing Maelstrom ends up
get out
doing...
of there, Warwick! Warwick, stop auto-attacking and leave!
Slicing Maelstrom ends up doing almost no damage, and there's the duress turn! And Cannon finds himself on the losing end of that fight. Because yeah, you cannot kill a Warwick in lane.
Holy, I actually played Warwick top. That's OP.
That's the obscene sustained power from a Warwick. You can see he pressed E as soon as he started getting hit by Slicing Maelstrom, and he lost a net total of like 50 health, tanking all of Cannon's ultimate because of just how much sustain he can get. And then he immediately turns it back onto the Cannon. This is just so incredibly ridiculous to lane against. Now almost all of his power is coming from this laning phase. If he can't make plays like that happen, he's basically useless. But so far he's leveraging it quite well. He's up about 2 minion waves. Nobody has died. In fact, he came very close to killing the cannon outright. But now we're coming up to the 7-minute mark. I don't remember when Spellbook can actually activate, but I do believe Warwick can come close to switching out for Ignite now, which means the cannon is actually going to be in danger. Slingshot will whiff, but there is the connection. He drags Kai'Sa so far back. Shyvana takes the dragon, but that only comes at the cost of Thresh's life. Poor Thresh getting killed off for the 3rd time this game. Just been put so far behind. Kai'Sa has to walk away as well. She's gone back for a call, and she's slowly stacking it up. Which means that the spot lane is essentially trivial for blue team to fight right now. Yone goes in for a fight, right into the waiting arms of Shyvana. He dodges the Viego Heartbreaker beautifully. With the fate sealed, he survives for now. Viego comes in for the stun and the ignite. He is going to take over for the possession. Can he make it out? He's pressed the Yone E for God knows what reason. He needs to ult again to break out of it, but he can't. Now that's an interaction actually I've never tested. If you have Yone E out and then you ult to get rid of the Yone body, do you still get snapped back? I wouldn't know because I've never killed a Yone as Viego. So that's still pending. Meanwhile, Warwick top once again falling really low. But as you can tell, it's all a bait. He's not actually in danger. Just kidding, he is actually in danger. He didn't get his ulti off because he's boosted. So Zac comes in to do absolutely nothing, but Cannon gets a solo kill. Good work, Cannon. He was really late on the Ferocious Howl, and he didn't actually get the Infinite Arrest off, which means Cannon was actually able to burst enough damage through to kill him. Nair Spike Whip plus Lucidity Boost completed for Warwick. He's got his lane sustain back up, but he's died once in lane, which suddenly makes his job a lot harder than it should be. I mean, he had a spell bug up, but he just never switched it. Can you switch at 8 minutes? I don't actually know. I almost never take that room, but hold that thought. This might be a really good fight coming down from red team. Zac is in the pit. He's been blocked up. Teleport is up to save him, but Cannon would be very stupid to teleport into that. The red team gets the Herald. They find the pickoff. Infinite Duress comes out, but that's not gonna actually do anything because it was done on top of a blast cone. Warwick still has a significant CS lead, and he's got to kill back now. Shyvana is coming in. She's stealing the blue. Cannon's inside of this. He can try to disrupt, but meanwhile, Warwick is farming off a storm in the top lane in his absence. Yone comes in for the trade against the Viego. Viego puts down the mist. He is camouflaged, but he is still visible. He is getting killed off in the 1v1 solo kill going over to the Yone. Blue team is making the early game look easy.
Almost GG easy.
Yeah, to add insult to injury, they take the blue buff. Scuttle secured, blue buff stolen. Blue team is back in business. It was a tiny blemish on their record, losing the fight at Herald. Shyvana now has an eye. And it's up to her to see how much gold she can take back with it. Warwick getting controlled under his tower now. However, still not necessarily behind. He's still Warwick. He's still laning phase. He can still sustain by such a crazy amount. And Warwick is paradoxically one of those champions that almost wants to fight around enemy minions because he needs to be constantly hitting stuff to survive. But right now, Cannon is posing a little bit too big of a threat. He has the Hextech Alternator, which is such a good early game item. It just does so much damage, and Warwick is really feeling the pain here. Meanwhile, mid lane, we're gonna have another trade, but here comes the Infinite Duress. They call the cannon away. He's popped the Slicing Maelstrom to disengage, but he might be dead anyway. Meanwhile, bot lane, there's a bullet time coming out. Kai'Sa is tanking the full brunt of it. The Gale Force forward. They get the kill, but they trade the Zac back. Cannon falls as well in the top lane. Yone does not kill the Viego. And actually, while we have this time, I need to check, is Viego's ulti really called Heartbreaker? It is. I honestly just made up that name, and it actually was. Red team also drops the Herald. That is a 2000 health tower, which means welcome to having first tower here. Play gold goes evenly, but Warwick gets 410 base gold for being near that first tower death. Cloud Rift is setting in. The dragon count is 1-1, but Shyvana gets a little bit more off it. You steal my blue, I steal yours, she says. So she is also going to take the buff away. Shelly gets stabbed in the eye before she can make her charge. Tier 2 tower is saved for now. Cannon coming back to farm is Stride Breaker complete for the Warwick. Oh boy, that's a scarily fast mythic on top of boost completion. Are you kidding me? It's only been 13 minutes. And he's got mythic plus finish boots. He is actually a lot more ahead than I gave him credit for. Zac jumps into the back. They're trying to kill off the Kai'Sa, and once again, it's like history repeats itself from game 1. Despite the kill lead, blue team is down in gold. Oh, that is such a key to tower shot, but Shyvana fails the dragon jump! Oh!
Know how it works.
That wall is too thick. You can't jump that Shyvana. She is going to blast cone back over and join the fight anyway, but she outputs a grand total of 0 damage. Actually, no, yeah, that wasn't even a blast cone. She flashed over the wall to join the fight and then did 0 damage. That is exceedingly unfortunate.
I want to take this opportunity to point out a common misconception. A lot of players think that if a dash goes halfway through a wall, it'll complete it. That is not at all how it works. I think she may have made that mistake, or that she may have thought the range was a little bit
A few years ago, this Reddit post went viral calling people out on that mistake. So yes, you're absolutely correct. And everyone who saw that, like, there was this incident on Reddit a few years ago where a guy called people out on it, and he got mass downvoted. So in retaliation, he made a video proving that the dash interaction was not like halfway through, and that was like the greatest redemption arc of Reddit League history or something. But yes, like since that incident, I think a lot of people more now know that, yeah, if a dash is like halfway over a wall, you don't make it through. That's just not how dashes work. But actually, that is how blinks work.
Yes.
That is why Ezreal, Kassadin, Flash, you can go over really thick walls by being more than halfway through. But that does not apply to a dash. You cannot do that with dashes. And actually though, in recent times, there are now a lot of dashes that are specifically designed to just not make it over walls at all. You have Gale Force who can't do that, Viego W can't do that. A lot of others that just aren't coming to my mind right now. But nowadays you definitely see a lot more dashes that just can't go over walls. Galio Justice Punch, another one. Yone detaching his body into the Corporeal Realm, doing about 150 damage. His 2 resources champion slapping it out, but Viego is somehow up 30 CS. Just cresting this gold lead all the way over his head. He's got Blade of the Rune King complete, and Viego is still trying to work on his shield bow. Now 16 minutes in. We have a very, very rough game here for blue team. Yes, their bot lane is stupidly ahead, but their mid is super down in CS, and their top has been utterly destroyed by a wolf.
Wait, I thought Yone was winning. What happened?
He is winning because he's winning trades, but Viego is farming way better. But even despite that, he's currently not winning slap fights against Yone. One more mark will get the stun on the Warwick. Can they do it? He has the infinite rest to engage out. He might need it at this point. No, he's turning around with the infinite rest, and there it is. There's the sustain. Heartbreaker comes down. They get the Yone, and now it's just the cannon running for his life. Flame Breath is there. Shyvana claws him in the face, and that's gonna be a 2-for-0. Warwick survives the ordeal because infinite rest.
If it was me, I would have ulted away, but he knew.
He has teammates coming, so he stalled as long as he could. That Ferocious House damage reduction aura is no joke. He tanked Yone ult and Slicing Maelstrom with his E active, and he didn't die, and he turned with infinite rest. It's really, really powerful. I think, this is just off the top of my head, I'll check after I say the number, just to humiliate myself. I think it's 35% reduced. 50? That's Alistar ult! Almost. Alistar ult is 60. 60, 65, 70 is Alistar ult.
Wait, what's 50%?
Warwick E. 50% DR! The scales all the way up to 55, are you kidding? That's a basic ability. That's like 2 free items worth of stats. Not quite 3. There's 2 free items worth of stats by pressing E. That's crazy. And you're kind of seeing him flex his muscles here. I thought it was 35. I way underguessed. It's so much higher than I thought. Now blue team is slowly realizing that, oh crap, we're not winning this game. Their bot lane is ahead, but now they're faced with a lot more threats. Shyvana is 70 CS ahead of the Zac. There's just such a huge gold discrepancy coming out from all other corners of the map except for bot lane. And after that whole fiasco top lane, I think Viego is safely ahead of the Yone now. And he's going for his Triforce. But he's essentially half a completed item on top of the Yone right now. Same thing here for the Warwick. It seems like Kennen has been sitting on these components for the past 10 minutes. He's got like 1 blasting wand since the 13-minute mark. In 6 minutes, he's gained 850 gold. He probably does have Rockabelle completed already. He just needs to go back and buy it. But that is a dismal state here by the Kennen. He's only gonna get his mythic 19.5 minutes in, unofficially. He hasn't bought it yet. Fate Seal completely whiffs, and there's a scary dragon jumping into the back. It rolls the Misfortune. She falls to half. Now she needs to go back. Infinite rest on her face. Immediately stunned up. Controlled beautifully by the Leona and Kennen. He gets nuked down for the shutdown. Kennen picks up a precious chunk of change for himself. And Misfortune gets saved. And now they realize perhaps they are better at team fighting here. Shyvana's Dragon Form has worn off, which means that blue team, it might be in their best interest to actually do this siege. Although blue team not necessarily going up against the scariest wave clears, they still have to be careful. They force the Shyvana flash away with the Yone dive, and that is going to be a tower here falling in favor of blue team. They finally take one back. They rest the gold lead a little bit in their favor, but they're still very much behind. The jungle matchup, the top matchup, the mid matchup are still pretty skewed. Not enough to be game losing, but just enough to offset bot lane's lead. Kennen clearing out the vision. 20.5 minutes in, he still hasn't backed. He needs that rocket belt. He needs that stopwatch. The next fight is about to begin in about a minute and a half or so. Warwick coming in, Strikebreaker gets the cancel, delaying the Zac back. But now the recalls are coming out. Sorcerer's Shoes, Stopwatch, and Hextech Rockabelt all completed here by the Kennen. Sunfire Aegis also picked up. The Mythics are rolling in now. Once again, Bramble West picked up a vital item here against the Warwick. They need to slash at healing. And the Viego as well, who actually heals a ton just off possessions and auto attacks alone. Viego comes over, yoinks the Grump away. And there is Herald number 2 being summoned here in the mid lane. That tower will not die to a single charge, but it will be on his last legs for sure. However, this Herald is stuck fighting minions, so it might not even make it to the tower. Warwick is fighting the Yone down bot. No winners. You can bet who wins, but there's no winners for it. Yone dashes in. Trying to get some CS. Precious little gold available to him. Warwick is just going to slowly cut the way back. He has all the time in the world to farm. He's such a safe farmer too, because he just needs to stand in the way of an auto and he will get all of it. He is a very consistent farmer as well against push waves. His increased attack speed against lower health targets really comes in clutch there. And Zac really needs to make up the CS deficit. He is now over 80 CS behind the Shyvana. Not over, just almost 80 CS. The Shyvana just needs to kill one camp and be over 80 CS ahead. Or kill a few wards, that works too. She is farming crazy fast right now, and power farming in the jungle is so good in the meta right now. The Shyvana is just getting so much money. And now the fight has officially begun with Cloud Drake spawning. Blue team is intent on getting it, but they're doing it essentially right under red team's noses. Teleport is coming in. Warwick has joined the fight. The dragon is low. They get it. But can they get out? Warwick sniffs the blood. He's on the blood hunt. He is coming in. The Void Seeker pins the Leona. Warwick runs in, but he can't find the Thresh target. Blue team, they get the objective right under red team's noses and make it out. No strings attached. The red team categorically fails to make the collapse happen. Now we're settling into the mid game. The dragons are 2-2. Red team is still ahead in the overall team goal. Once again, CS diff. That's literally it. It's actually a very significant CS diff to create such big leads.
Holy, that's a 3.5k gold lead.
Just off CS.
That's a massive CS diff. Everyone except AD carries getting hard out farmed.
Viego sitting on 2 completed items. This is where he kind of power spikes, but he does need like a Stax gauge or something to back up his team fighting durability. Because with Viego team fighting, you don't necessarily need to do the damage. You just need to touch someone and then have other people do the work for you. And then you can start popping off. He's such a reset heavy champion. Zac is gonna come in for the slingshot. The CC is there, but they've already run out of it, and Warwick is just gonna slowly run away. Shyvana is trying to help him in the back. He gets grabbed back a little bit. He still has the rest. He can make it out, but he doesn't need it. The lantern gets him out. They expend the CC, but can't get him locked down long enough to make that happen. They may have collapsed too early because Misfortune and Leona just now arrive on the scene. And in their collapse, they've left bot lane undefended. Viego gets that tower for himself, furthering the lead that red team has. And it's been a while since a full-on 5-on-5 teamfight has happened. And because it's been so long, Shyvana has gotten so much stronger. Warwick has actually gotten bulkier, and Viego is on his 2-item power spike. If they do another teamfight, I'm no longer favoring blue team to win here. Even with all of the CC they have drafted, Misfortune's gonna come in, but there's finally the Infinite Rest peel out. The Gale Force is coming in with the bullet time. No amount of slipperiness can get you out of that. As Misfortune gets the kill on Warwick, they find the pickoff, expending a lot of resources. What is their offset here? They are gonna have red team take their mid-tier 1 tower for that 1 kill. They will trade 1 back up top. It is still worth it for them. And Viego, having just farmed up a storm, goes back home. Take a look at his inventory, see what he buys. Selling the refill, gets executioners. And that's not it. He gets the Bramble West on top of that as well. It's now investing in durability, tankiness, and utility. You know, Yone is close to Infinity Edge, has not had it in his inventory yet. I believe he can just buy it. No, he can't. He is quite a bit short to get the Infinity Edge from there. 300 gold, give or take, I think. I haven't bought Infinity Edge that much this season. The game is once again going down into a farm fest, and once again, I just don't favor blue team in farm fests. If you give both teams an equal amount of gold that they can farm, red team can always do more with it. But that being said, it is hard for blue team to force anything to happen. They can try to consistently make picks on the side lanes, but they always need to expend so much just to get one kill. Warwick's so slippery, Shyvana is so slippery. Well, you're also not going to catch a Shyvana, but Viego is so slippery. It's really hard to make these kills happen. And we have Viego just taking the Krugs under blue team's noses. They just can't respond to him. Next dragon is already up, and red team by default have the position on it. So they're just going to help themselves and put themselves to soul point. That's a very, very fast dragon take, and Baron is next on the table, frankly. They could stall this game out, wait for soul point, and then try to decide what to do from there, but I think if blue team takes that route, by then they may have suddenly realized that they've already lost the game. Warwick pops the blood scent. He's coming in for the hunt. He can't find the pounds, but he can exert so much pressure. He's consistently drawing 3 or 4 people up there just to get a kill on him. Infinite duress for the self-heal. The Misfortune commits flash to go back in. Can she do it here? The Warwick is going for the lifesteal. The fear. Misfortune drops to half, but the cavalry has arrived. They finally kill him off, but they've sent every member they have top lane. And they will immediately back off. They can't make it happen. They're going to go on Baron instead. However, Warwick, he's bought red team enough time to respawn. And blue team are doing exactly what they want them to. They're funneling inside the pit. Shyvana is waiting outside. She's got a howitzer cannon for her mouth and she's lining it up. Yone goes over the wall. The flame will not connect. Baron is falling low. Red team has no vision. They finally drop the ping. They see how low it is. They know the time to act is now. Shyvana flame breath in. The first connects only onto the front line. Viego's missed. Wraps around the side. But they know exactly where he is. Flash it for the steal. Shyvana gets the Baron. And now she immediately dies in the pit. The Leona is next to go. He's been taken over. The Leona is running in. She has the CC. Infinite duress comes down. Blue team is being picked apart. They've lost the Baron. They've lost their front line. No more Leona. No more Zac. The rest of blue team has been sent on the run. And now red team, they smell blood in the water. They're going in for a kill. They're starting this push with every member they have. The Zac has been taken over, but it wears off in the nick of time. The Yone is stolen next. He does so much damage. Misfortune is up on the chopping block. And now they take over the only fed member of blue team. And now they're hitting their own towers with their own champion. Heartbreaker ditches Misfortune Shell. They are going to keep pushing. Inhibitor is down. And they go for the reset. But Warwick and Kai'Sa still going in. Leona is up. She's trying to push back against the Baron minions, but these are some tanky little bastards that they just will not die. Red team goes for a full reset. They found the game-breaking play, the beautiful Baron steal, and the massive team fight off the back of it. They farm so much in the lull of this game. They have what it takes to just definitively win fights. We have blue team now cleaning salvage. They're now trying to scrounge up whatever gold they can. They know full well that the next team fight might very well be their last. Warwick's sitting on 3 completed items. Cannon, it seems like just moments ago, finally finished Zanya's. But the teamfight power for blue team is just not there. They can't find and engage. Not onto red team. Red team can consistently go in and out, weave through Cannon. There's no way Cannon can find targets to pin. Now with Warwick leaping past him. Now with the Shamana Dragon form spewing fire like a mortar from the back. There's no viable targets here for Cannon to lock down. And because he can't really find people to kill, there's no good way for a blue team to start any fight. You have very telegraphed engages with Slingshot, very telegraphed AoEs with Slicing Maelstrom, but you're not gonna find anything here.
We're watching Andy's team play Clash.
Red team is starting their push. This may as well be their final push. Stride Breaker out. Cannon gets poked out, and there's the Viego trading into the Yone. Cannon is holding on for dear life at this outer tower, and Warwick, he smells the weakness. He's going in for the kill. Zanya's Hourglass is up, but even the tower plus the ulti damage is but a tickle. Warwick finds the freest solo kill of all time. Top lane has been blown wide open. Blue team cannot send people to assist.
They were winning and then they threw.
Nice. Classic.
Blue team lost.
Well, actually, it's a little more complicated than that.
I don't think they ever threw, but they were just consistently getting out farmed, and the game stalled out to a point where the farm differential snowballed out of control. And also, red team is really good at the waiting fights until they can absolutely take winning ones. Viego is going to Heartbreaker out to disengage. It's only 2 members here for blue team. The rest have been sent top to respawn. Cloudsoul has been claimed. That's such a scary soul here for a red team to have. Viego going to help himself to the red buff. But really, they're helping themselves to a lot more. It's the gold lead. Almost touching 10,000 now, which is the unofficial game over mark. And there's the Flame Breath. It connects out to nothing, but it's not like it matters, as Yone is already dead. Zac is hopping his way out for dear life. The Flame Breath directly on top of Misfortune channeling. The bullet time rather, not going to do a thing. Viego is just swapping bodies in and out, changing clothes like his hot topic, and now he's jumping in. He's hitting the tower with Zac's own body. Heartbreaker reset onto the Leona. Slicing Maelstrom is out. It's only hitting the Warwick. He's got a lot of sustain to himself. He pops the stopwatch. He's perfectly fine. And now the reset. One final takeover onto the Leona. Last body onto the cannon. This is the final push. They end the game in spectacular fashion. It is gonna be Team EZW taking the L in Game 2 of Zaun Cup. After honestly a very long drawn out farm game. And then it just ballooned out of control. There are the damage graphs. Honestly, this damage graph doesn't matter because it doesn't matter how much damage you deal to red team if the kills you get aren't meaningful or if you're expending too much to get them. There really was no good solution for blue team to win that game. With those champions, they cannot find enough lockdown to kill any of the side threats from red team, and they just eventually get stalled out and lose. But that being said, they're now gearing up to get into games 3 of the Clash. This will be their final game, and we shall see who comes out on top in a bit.